know that Dandy is a toon that has 5 stars in every stat?
That's because it's a developer-only toon,
said someone loudly in the back. Or did you know that there were supposed to be 3 other toons that came out for the Halloween update? And did you know that Poppy was never supposed to be in the game? Okay, I made that last one up. That was just wishful thinking. Either way, today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different things inside of Dandy's world that was made but didn't get used. Some of these I literally didn't know. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. Originally, Dandy didn't always look like the beautiful sunflower that you know today. He didn't always look like this. Once upon a blue moon, Dandy actually looked like this. More of a extremely decrepit and delusional, should I say, looking toon. But his old design first debuted in the Dandy's World teaser trailer on November 10th, 2023, where it showed him running down a hallway and waving to his viewers. His eyes were separated and modeled onto his head and were able to glow, which would have created an effect which it seems his eyes were always focused on the camera. And quite a while ago, inside of the game files, there's an unused hurt face for Dandy, depicting him in an emotionless smirk and a wrathful stare of dilated and sharp red slits on them. Since the release of roleplay mode, Dandy's hurt face is now the same face he uses on his 3rd phase when not purchasing from his store. I wonder what made them get rid of such a beautiful sunflower. I honestly couldn't put my finger on it. Dandy's first concept design was made back around December 23rd, 2022. This older design is similar to the final design, other than his more chibi-like body. Chibi is a Japanese style of caricature that depicts characters as small, chubby, and oversized heads. For example, if you played Undertale, here is a chibi version of Sans. It doesn't really fit now, does it? In his old design, Dandy would wear a pair of mismatched colorful socks with colored ankles, toes, and heels. Dandy's mouth also appears to be locked in a toothy grin. Yeah, honestly, this version of Dandy doesn't really feel... Wait, why did they didn't say anything about this twisted design in the corner, or any of these twisted designs. That twisted design's way creepier, dog. Oh, here we go. Old twisted Dandy designs. Twisted Dandy 2's. Oh, he had 2 old designs. Whoa, were drastically different from his current designs. His first iteration was stickly thin and much taller with completely black eyes that appears to emit black mist. The design also used to have 4 arms, which is eventually used for Twisted Astro's design. However, Dandy's second iteration looks closer to his final design, albeit very, very different. Instead of his body being entirely composed of ichor, his lower body is his regular toon body, but the coloring is heavily desaturated, and the skin around his toon body is torn, and an upper body fully composed of ichor, or ichor. He still carries similar to his Twisted design, and he uses a similar face to current Twisted Dandy. Only difference here are the lack of VHS tapes tangled around him. His first 2 designs depict him more bipedal rather than running on all 4s, like the current Twisted Dandy character model. Honestly, imagine this design running at you on all 4s. Yeah, no freaking thanks, dog. This is something I brought up a long time ago, but haven't said anything about it since. Goob was originally supposed to be named EGG, which is an abbreviation for especially good guy, which, let's be honest, extremely fitting for our furry friend. EGG's design had him in a pair of mismatched roller skates, a cinched striped waist, and a furrier body. And instead of having the claws we know today as his hands, he appeared to have a pair of syringes replacing them, as well as a large container of ichor on his back. But answer this question for me, right? In what reality, in what world, what reason would a toon need ichor on their back? Especially if they're an especially good guy. What, are you dousing toons with ichor, drowning them? Why would the especially good guy need ichor on his back? That doesn't seem right. I think Goob's hiding something. And EGG's design actually had much more detail for some reason, being the only toon that had a human version. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I don't know why, but he did. Prior to Glisten's rework. Wait, what? Twisted Glisten had a rework? I didn't even know about that. Originally, Twisted Glisten had been intended to be portrayed as a trickster of sorts, luring in toons. That just does not sound right. While the image shown does not depict his design entirely, Glisten was shown to have a far more cunning face. Ew. I really don't like that old design. Great change. Hey, great change, Quill. I'm glad that didn't make the final cut. The cracks in his glass are quite similar to his current design, and the only thing missing from his old and current design is his pink bow. I think it's fine. I think great change. Great change. So just like every other toon, V was supposed to have a hurt face that had her in mild annoyance. Obviously now her current face is the unique blue screen with the text rebooting because, you know, she's a freaking television. But this is apparently what it was supposed to look like, which, yeah, really just does not feel right or like V at all. So we've talked about Twisted Shelly before. However, did you know that she was supposed to have a completely different design from the other one that we've already talked about? I didn't. Her other drafted design was drastically different from her current design, or her final design rather. This design carries more resemblance to her original toon self, but with black branches stretching out of her back, eyes and heels, and having black limbs and feet. What? This design also gave her larger claws and hearts on her palms, but she possessed no eyes. Dog. This iteration of Twisted Shelly might have been inspired for Goob and Twisted Goob due to Twisted Shelly's arms and hands and the exact same as what Twisted Goob has, just with different colors. Dude, I need to see this. Oh my gosh, dude. Shelly was almost completely different. Honestly, I wonder if this is what came up with rare Twisteds versus main Twisteds. I wonder if her arms were originally supposed to shoot out. Also, this drawing reminds me of the curse from Jujutsu Kaisen. The creator of Danger's World stated that Twisted Shelly was originally supposed to depict an Allosaurus. In case you're wondering what that looks like, you're welcome. However, her size would have been too small to accommodate this. And in case you haven't seen, here's the other scrap design of Twisted Shelly, which is really insane. Speaking of things that got changed, prior to 0.3.0, Shelly's debuff originally gave the effect of Confused 2, but it ended up being debuffed to give a nerf of Confused 1. And I know what you're asking. What did Confused 2 do? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Pebble was originally going to have rounded eyes, which were more akin to hunter eyes, and like his final design, with them being smaller, googlier, and prey-like. What the heck is a hunter eye, dog? Okay, so hunter eyes are on the left, and then the prey eyes are on the right. The difference is honestly, it seems like the people on the left are squinting, but they're, yeah, I see it, but like, I don't know. All right, I have to try to draw this. Okay, maybe I should retire from ever doing that ever again. Twisted Pebble originally had a smaller lower jaw with only 2 large canines and 2 smaller teeth in between. So you're telling me he didn't have his chompers in his top row? Yeah, that can't slide. He also didn't have any claws on his quote-unquote paws. The rock on the end of his tail was larger, and his eyes were further apart and were woolly black, except for the 2 pupils. And in development, Twisted Pebble can be seen blasting a white laser out of his mouth, like light reflecting through a crystal rock, which is a phenomenon known as a prism. Dog, dude, that literally just sounds like something straight from an anime. I wonder if Quell or whoever made this just did it for jokes, or if Twisted Pebble was literally supposed to be a range Twisted. I don't know. In the roleplay update, Twisted Toodles had her chasing animation change from crawling on all fours like an animal to running on 2 legs. But then again, her animation was changed in 0.4, now crawling on all floors normally though, much more like a baby. So this is what her running animation looked like on release. This is what her running animation looked like when she was running on her feet, and this is what her running animation looks like now. Twisted Gigi's design is overall the same, apart from having 2 arms coming out of her head. That's a massive difference. What do you mean? And that she might have walked around on her legs instead of crawling, judging on one of the drawings of her in an upright position with her arms down. But oh yeah, so we almost completely changed this character altogether. Dude, that's like saying Twisted Finn grew legs and would start walking. That's insane. As you can see in this old concept of Gigi, the 2 hands coming out of her. Dude, that is a massive, that was completely almost different. Also, why does this one look like she's either sniffing the floor or doing a push-up? I don't understand. Twisted Sprout's concept serves as an early link to the current one we know and see today. Other than being smaller, the design had less ichor soiling his person, only lying dormant on his left side of his body rather than the whole. So I guess Sprout's character is alluding to probably either getting infected first or more ichor being exposed to him. It also appears to leave a trail on his foot, Twisted Sprout has only his left eye concealed here too. His scarf, which had only Iker on his tip, is translated into a new digit limb that would have kept Twisted Sprout's head upright. Wait, what? Since he was originally going to have a limping head? What does that mean? His hair was also much paler and sharper, with one of the leaves laying above the Iker infested eye. Finally, the last key difference is his left arm, which is with a clawed hand that's parallel to Twisted Cosmo. It also had leaves as claws instead of the finalized Iker claw. So obviously, this is the current concept that we know of Twisted Sprout, and this is what the early Twisted Sprout design looks like. He looks like kind of more scared, shocked, and a little bit timid. I don't know which version I like more. However, jabronis, there's a lot more unused things or things that were changed or didn't make the final cut inside of Deity's World. If you would like to see more of those, let me know down in the comments by showing some love on this video. However, I won't leave you just like that. The tunes that were supposed to make it into the Halloween updates names were supposed to be Harvey, Countless, and Duke. Whether it was supposed to be a big event similar to that of the Christmas update, we won't know until next Halloween, which hopefully I'll still be around by then. There's really nothing else I'd rather be doing. With that being said, I'll see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.